Welcome to the REthink Roundtable podcast by Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices Select Properties. I'm your host, Brett Murray, Marketing Specialist at Select Properties. Each episode, we'll be interviewing a real estate professional and discussing a new and helpful tool or technology for real estate agents. In this episode, we talked to Sierra Reed from our Troy office about her social media strategy, her best tips for agents, and some tools that she likes to use. Enjoy! So go ahead and introduce yourself.
I am Sierra Reed, and I am from the Troy office.
And today we're going to be talking a little bit about social media and different tools that social media offers that agents can utilize in their business every day, as well as their personal life, to sort of keep their brand out there. So, Sierra, what's one of your favorite, or I guess what's sort of the ranking of your favorite social media platforms?
Facebook, I would say, is number one. I am very good at Facebook, so it's my go-to. After that, I would say Instagram and then Snapchat, but that's mostly for friends. But yeah, I would say Facebook is probably my number one social media.
And how do you like to use your Facebook for business? Do you have a business page? Do you use your personal page sort of as both, personal and business, all of that?
I have a business page. I constantly am asking people to like it, which I'm sure they love. But if it's something, I post all real estate on my business page. If it's something that is bigger or something that I want a bigger audience to see, I'll share it to my personal page. But I try not to bombard my personal page too much, but I do actually want to keep in front of my friends on that page as well.
Yeah, definitely. So with the business page, I know that sort of, especially with Facebook and all the changes they're going through, is sort of shifting and everything. So what do you do to keep your page patrons engaged, and sort of what kind of content do you post? Do you just post listings? Do you post things when you're out in the community and doing an event and you're going to be there? Do you post different things like that as well?
I definitely post my new listings, post price reductions, and then I try to post things that will appeal to other people that aren't just looking for a house. I was in a training when I first started like 2 years ago, and they said they bought a car and they became friends with a car salesman because he was amazing. And after they became friends, all he saw was for sale. And he was like, I already bought a car. I'm not interested in cars for sale. So that triggered something in me. I have like younger siblings that aren't ready to buy right now, but I want them to remember who I am when they are ready to buy. So that triggered something with me to post stuff that's not just for sale or just sold, but stuff that keeps them thinking of me when the time comes and engages them and stuff like that. So I try to do for sale, just listed, price reductions, and then I try to do different posts to get them to comment, questions and stuff like that.
How do you feel like Instagram, I mean, obviously that's sort of new in the real estate industry, and using that in a way that benefits the agent. How do you feel like you've sort of transitioned from Facebook to Instagram well, and what do you think makes a good post on Instagram when you're a real estate agent? Because it's not easy. I mean, you don't want to, like you said, you don't want to always post houses, because that's not, especially on Instagram, that's not going to engage as well. But what do you feel like is a good strategy for Instagram use?
I don't know if this is 100% accurate, but I feel like Instagram is a younger crowd. So that's definitely not where I post for sales as much. Like I said, I do a lot on Facebook, and I then turn it over to Instagram as well. I'm still learning Instagram, but I do a lot. I try to do more engagement stuff on there to try to get the younger crowd engaged and not so much looking at for sale.
Yeah. And Snapchat as well. I mean, you want to keep your audience engaged in that as well, I'm sure, right?
Yes. Yeah. So on Snapchat, I have mostly friends. I don't use it too much for business. What I use Snapchat for mostly is to stay in front of my friends. I'll post, if I have an open house, I'll just snap a picture of my sign in front of the house and just, throw the address on there and say, open house today, come visit me. Realistically, they're probably not going to come visit me, but the thought is they'll remember that I'm in real estate when it comes time for them to make a move in real estate.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think those platforms as well are just good to have to sort of offset the Facebook profile a little, because Facebook can be very professional and sort of, now it's turning into a very professional resource that people find you and will look you up on Facebook before they do a Google search on you. So you have to sort of almost have a professional front there. But I think Instagram and Snapchat allows you to sort of have fun with it and sort of make fun of yourself and use those filters and different things to sort of show that, the true colors of you as a real estate agent and what you truly would get all around. So I think, there's benefits to both of them for sure. So do you feel like your sphere of influence has expanded with your use of social media?
Yes. My first year in real estate, obviously I didn't have a huge budget for marketing or anything like that, and I swear by Facebook, because my first year in real estate that's how I made it the first year in real estate. Posting on there, just letting people know, and that was before I even had a business page, but and that's what most of my business came from, was posting on Facebook. I didn't have the funds to send postcards or real estate reviews or anything like that. So Facebook was definitely my go-to my first year. It still is, but it's free, and if you use it correctly, it'll help you tremendously.
So what was sort of your strategy in that first year? I mean, did you only post on your business page, or did you do some outreach to like Facebook groups and all the different there's the St. Charles, the Troy, the all of those different areas that all have groups, it seems like, on Facebook. Did you utilize any of those, or sort of what was your strategy with navigating that?
I did post in the buy-sell trade sites, for open houses or new listings and stuff like that. It definitely helped get the listing out there. As far as strategy, I posted different events we did in the community, such as like the Pumpkin Festival, and made sure that, I related back to real estate. But that's a lot of the stuff I post. Like I said, it's not just the for sale and price drops, but just stuff in the community and stuff like that.
Yeah, but also a chance, to come out and meet you and actually get to know you as an agent. And that's great. So are there any non-social media tools that you use that you feel like have been a big help to you now that you have sort of set the tone with social media?
As far as like postcards or campaigns?
It can be that,
like
or, electronically as well, any apps or anything. But also, do you feel like now that you sort of are in it a little bit more, do you feel like the postcards and stuff definitely help and that just adds to it?
Yeah, when we went through Ninja in February, one thing I picked up was to market to your sphere of influence, not to people that you think might buy or sell, because they're the ones that are going to recommend you down the line. So I've picked up doing that more. I do a monthly postcard, and I usually try to post it to Facebook as well, try to keep the same image.
Yeah.
So I'll do a monthly postcard. I'll do the Facebook post, and then I email out to my SOI. So the back of my website is killer too, along with Facebook. I think those are probably the two that I depend on the most. SkySlope is awesome. I love that I can take it from my email and immediately put it where it belongs, so corporate or our office manager can check it. Other than that, I use a couple different video editing. I'm not the greatest at that. I still research that, but I use Splice. iMovie sometimes, stuff like that.
Yeah, and those are all good, and that's an area that's changing so frequently that I feel like, yeah, you can never go wrong with downloading any of those type of apps and just trying them and testing them and see what works for you, really. I mean, but I think you brought up a good point in there too, which is sort of keeping that branding consistent across everything you do. So you mentioned posting the postcards that you create and send out on social media as well, and I think that's huge to do because that sort of creates that recognition. No matter where these people are seeing your name, it creates that recognition in their head of that's you and that's who they should go to for real estate. So what sort of made you want to do that whole branding piece of it and just keeping all that the same? Because I know some people feel like they need to sort of change things up for online and they want it to be, more attention grabbing because they feel like people are just scrolling through a news feed and what's going to catch their attention. But what made you choose to sort of keep it consistent across the board?
Just one, consistency is great. Two, it doesn't take as much time, and a lot of agents talk about how they don't have time to do social media and postcards and emails and all that stuff. If you keep it consistent, you can use the same concept. I do change it a little bit. If I do a postcard and I'm going to put it on Facebook, I'll change it a little bit. It's the same image, but sometimes for social media I will ask questions regarding what's on that postcard. Most of my postcards are not so much real estate related, but more so something that people might read. Last month I did a summer bucket list for the kids, like a free stuff like fly a kite, go to a festival, go fishing. So that was last month's postcard, posted on Facebook, send it out on email. Like I said, if I do social media, I'll kind of engage them, say, post pictures of you and your kids doing some of your summer bucket list items.
Oh, so posting outside of just the graphic that you're posting, the image that you're posting, asking that question and really requesting that engagement.
Yeah.
That's good. That's very good. So what do you feel like has been some good tools that Select Properties has sort of offered to you, whether it's, the Ninja program or just your office management? What do you feel like has been the most helpful for you in your journey as an agent?
Everything.
Everything. That's a good answer.
Yeah. So Ninja was awesome. I will probably go to Ninja every time it comes. It's definitely blew my mind. The support in the office, like our office manager, is great for checking our paperwork and helping us if we need questions. Our brokers, Rory and Kate, are awesome, always available and all that. But more so technology. SkySlope, like I've already mentioned, is amazing. Having our own website and the back of our website where we can keep our contacts and the birthdays and the anniversaries. The resource center, still trying to wrap my mind around all of that, but that's that's a good tool as well. I use it when I can. And honestly, just the different trainings that we do. We've recently started doing Wednesdays with Rick, and I've been going every Wednesday, and every time I get something out of it. Like as far as for new agents, I always tell them go to training. Even older agents that are experienced, you can never stop learning. Soak it up like a sponge. So the training and stuff like that we offer is awesome for new agents, or like I said, agents that have been in the business for a while.
Yeah, that's great. So I guess my last question is, in your time as an agent, what is your biggest takeaway with all of it, sort of the sphere of influence, the social media and the technology that we have available to be an agent these days? What do you feel like has been the most helpful, the most stands out in your mind as like sort of the number one lesson learned? What do you think that is?
Probably work your business like a business. Come to the office at 9 and work, be in a routine. You're not going to accidentally be successful by randomly doing things here and there. So being consistent, working your business like a business, even if you don't have anything to do, be at the office at 9 and Google. Google different marketing things you can put on Facebook and then make a Facebook post, and different marketing things you could send out in a postcard and then create postcards. I mean, my biggest, is definitely routine and being in the office and working your business like a business. That's my biggest suggestion, I guess.
That's great to hear. All right, well, thank you for chatting with us this month, and we hope to hear from you all in the comments, and subscribes and downloads, please.
Thank you.
This episode is brought to you by the Ninja Program. I'm happy to announce that Select Properties will be offering its annual Ninja Leadership Program on February 19th through the 22nd at the St. Louis Association of Realtors. Be on the lookout for more information soon. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and thanks for listening.